thousands and thousands of earnings, fast cars, and living the dream. That is the ideal image of a Fortnite professional player, but is that the actual reality of what makes a pro? Fortnite has bolstering huge prize pools, and the potential for everyone to earn is enticing for up-and-coming players. And in Europe, winning the biggest tournament, the FNCS, could net you $100,000. FNCS land champions Cooper and Mio netted themselves $500,000 from winning the biggest tournament of the year, but is that the reality of an actual Fortnite professional? No, that isn't. If anything, that's far from it. The average pro probably makes near the minimum wage of an average European country. But how is that possible, considering all of the money and the prizing I've just shown you? So let's break it down, some from Fortnite's richest down to what would consider the average professional player. Now, it's no secret, Fortnite's top competitive earner remains to be and always has been Clicks, and that's without a shadow of a doubt. Being Fortnite's most watched streaming on top of being a worthy competitor, Clicks has done incredibly well to secure himself generational wealth, venturing into numerous businesses and content. So let's break that down. The past 3 months, Clicks has averaged a total of 17,170 viewers, and in those 3 months, he streamed an enormous 517 hours, or 6 hours per day, every day for 3 months. In October, he had 6,700 subscribers, November 20,000, and in December an impressive 35,000 people were subscribed to him. Now, these numbers are definitely boosted due to the recent success of Fortnite, but on average, based on these numbers, Clicks would probably make around $70,000 per month from his subscribers, assuming he, as a big creator, has a special deal with Twitch, which most big streamers do. Now, the Fortnite community isn't one of great disposable income due to its younger audiences, so subscriber count for Fortnite streamers aren't usually the main focus. The main source of income is ad revenue.
Bananas.
Now, from my own experiences as a Twitch streamer, advertisements definitely vary from streamer location, audience location, and availability of advertisements throughout the year. North American streamers would benefit a lot more for advertisements compared to that of Poland, for example. On top of that, Twitch streamers are offered an ad incentive where they will receive a variable income deal based on the hours streamed and their concurrent viewing counts. On average, a 1,000 viewer streamer from America would ballpark anywhere from $400 to $500 across an 8-hour stream with consistent viewership and advertisements, but someone in Poland might average $30 to $40 in the same sense. Now, these numbers don't scale linearly, but for the sake of argument, let's assume those numbers are all true. Now, Clicks himself only runs 1 million of advertisements an hour, so his numbers will be quite crapped, and on average, Clicks would then earn $5,000 to $7,000 per stream from advertisements alone, which nets him around $150,000 to $200,000 monthly from ads. Now, YouTube, Clicks had a very good month. He averaged 33 million views on his main channel, minus shorts, let's say that's around 20 million views. And with an average of an RPM of $3, that would net him around $78,000 a month. He also netted around 31 million views on his second channel, which would be around the same, perhaps a little bit less. So let's say $140,000 per month from YouTube. Now, we could go into other things like TikTok, sponsorships, his clothing brand, his keyboards, his Fortnite maps, but you get the gist of it. Clicks makes a lot of money, and a lot more money than the rest of the community. So the grand total with all of that amount would net him around $400,000 a month just from those initial sources, and probably, if I had to guess, a good $700,000 to $800,000 a month with sponsorships, merch drops, and of course his baller Fortnite maps. Now let's compare that to his actual Fortnite earnings. Clicks in 2023 made $7,725 from official online tournaments. Now, his year to end in tournaments, including third parties, netted him around $28,308.46. This included his most earned tournaments such as Gamers 8, where he gained $6,400, and Tifu Tuesday for $6,250, and the Global Championships, which gave him $2,000. So you can see where this is going. On the other side of the pond, slightly better performing Fortnite player, competitive-wise, was Mr. Savage, who made a total of $25,375 online, majority of which came from his 8th place performance with Video in the Major 2 Finals. Those numbers go up to $57,085, with a third-party tournaments ranging from Gamers 8, which netted him $8,900, Global Championships for $7,000, and Tifu Tuesdays for $5,750. Now, Savage, compared to Clix, would suffer from mainly being a European-based streamer, with audiences within Europe ranging from very high-income countries and some lower-income countries. And those lower-income countries would definitely affect the nature of advertisements and sub-revenue immensely. Now, Savage has an average of 10,430 viewers across the 3 months, with 345-hour streams, or an average of 4 hours per day. So we can assume with those numbers and assuming his EU-focused viewership, he can net around $2,000 per day just from advertisements alone, on top of a current active subscriber count of around 5,000. From Twitch alone, Savage is looking at netting around $75,000 on average per month. Now, Savage's YouTube channel actually gets more views than Click, surprisingly enough, but excluding shorts, with a grand total of 90 million views monthly, but that includes shorts. So excluding shorts, we're looking around 40 million views, but let's assume for EU audiences with an RPM of $2, he's looking at around $80,000 a month just from his main channel. Now, we can include things like sponsorship. Again, same thing, they're making a lot of money. Savage is looking at around $200,000 per month just from his socials. Now, that's the dream that you all believe in. Now, let's get to reality. Now, let's focus on the players that are now purely focused on competitive, the FNCS winners and the tier 1s. So last year's EU top 5 power rankings were as follow. We had Malabuka in first place, Thomas HD, Cammy, Murstache, and then Queasy. Malabuka from online tournaments made a grand total of $147,800. Thomas HD, $137,725. Cammy, $85,575. Murstache, $179,200, and Queasy with $160,375 in total. Now, you're looking at this and you're thinking about those FNCS wins and $100,000. Now, the majority of these players' income is going to be bolstered by third-party tournaments on top of that, which has definitely been aiding the Fortnite competitive scene. So, adding on to that, for Malabuka, he won $50,000 at Gamers 8 and 2 back-to-back DreamHack wins for $55,000 as well. Now, including some other smaller tournaments, his grand total comes up to $254,964 on the year just from competitive tournaments. Thomas, his number goes up to $246,223, and then Cammy to $717,197. Now, you see a big difference here, obviously, because Cammy won Gamers 8 for a nice little $300,000 and also came second place in Global Championship, bolstering his income as the highest earned player of 2023. Murstache, with poor LAN performances, only went up to $206,175, and Queasy to $246,979. So if you're a top performing EU pro, then you're looking at making around $200,000 per year from tournaments alone. You can add org salaries to that. You can add a bit of streaming, a bit of YouTube revenue, but nothing that significant compared to the actual main earnings from competitive. So let's compare that to NA, for example. So we took the top 5 NA pros, and they are as follows. Iomzo in first in the PR rankings. We had Aviv in second, Booger in third, Cooper in fourth, and then Rise in fifth. Iomzo made $69,950 online, Aviv $19,525, Booger $75,325, Cooper $61,075, and Rise $68,150. Now, if you add third-party tournaments on top of that, those numbers increase by a lot for some of these guys, like Iomzo with $165,820, and of course Cooper, who goes up to a stumbling $562,170 because he won some sort of big tournament, Copenhagen, something like that. For NA, you're looking at something like $120,000 on average from being a top tier 1 pro. Amazing. So we have top tier streamers making around $3 million a year from content and more, and the average top pro making $200,000 in EU and $120,000 in North America. Now, to achieve these levels of play, you have to be good, and I mean really good. These are the FNCS winners and the players who everyone expects to win. But what happens when we go down a level? For tier 2 pros, I picked 5 random top 100 players, and they're as follow. 14th place, Vico. 23rd, Hellfire. 32nd, RevSquad. 44th, Moneymaker. And 91st on the PR ranking, Noah Rayleigh. Vico made a total of $26,300. Hellfire 19,000, RevScott 14,550, Honeymaker 9,000, and No Rayleigh $5,000 from official online tournaments. Now Vico's number goes up to 75,000 when they add your global championships and his Red Bull tournaments. Hellfire up to 23,600, but that was, again, he didn't make it to global championships, so you can see immense earnings difference already from a top 14 player to a top 23 player. RevScott, he goes up to 106,678, but that is bolstered by $75,000 at the Gamers 8 LAN and $9,000 at DreamHack Summer. Moneymaker goes up to 19,734 with $8,000 from Global Championships, and No Rayleigh only goes up $300 to 5,587. Now you're already seeing a huge difference now between the top tier 1 performing pros and the top tier 2 performing pros, and that goes worse and worse down the listing. Most notably, like I mentioned, the importance of LAN tournaments and attending third-party tournaments here cannot be underestimated when becoming a Fortnite professional. Now if we go down another peg, we're going down to tier 3 pros, and those are still high-performing pro players in the European region. They are top 200 pros. So we go to Frey, Artskill, Perdage, Faki, and Andretta. Now looking at these numbers, you can already see a huge jump up from the 5-figure range that the other pros were making at the tier 2 level. And remember, this is not per month, this is what they were making in 2023 in that year. Now with no notable big third-party tournaments to their names, those are their set incomes for the year. And if you go down another peg, down to tier 4 level, going down to top 500 EU Pro level, we have Artem with $500 earned, who is the 411th top ranking player in EU. Slates with $2,000 earned, a bit of an outlier here, but 425th place. We have Cisse 452nd with $0 earned on the year. Rudolph 474th with $100 earned on the year, and then Mystic with $650 made on the year. These are top 500 EU Pro players that are making sub $500, even with all the solo victory cups and the dual zero tournaments and those on top of it alike. So the question remains then, is it worth to go pro in Fortnite? As a fun side hobby when you're in school? Absolutely. Get yourself some extra cash and pursue that dream. As a full-time job? Well, you better hope you're a top 20 pro in your region or you'll be in trouble. And here you can see the estimation of what you can be expecting to be making as a top of the content creator list, and this is a very, very small 0.01%. They're making around $2 million per year. A top performing pro makes around $250,000 to $200,000 just from tournament itself. Tier 2 pro, you can expect to make around $40,000 yearly just from tournaments. A tier 3 pro is making around $2,500 yearly, and then a tier 4 pro is making around $300 yearly in total. So get those applications ready.